Hello, this is Heavy Thrash of NWOTHM Metal Production Channel at YouTube. How many weeks has it been since I last uploaded my video? Geez, it's been quite a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos. Vocals. That will be saved for another video. However, I don't know, I want to take the time to talk about a little something. It's about the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal. Now, I'm not going to show a collection of albums that I have. Normally I would. But this is more about another thing about the new wave of traditional heavy metal. Since, it's still going on, the whole scene. It seems to be, still going strong, but however, there's going to be that moment in time where it ends up almost feeling like not itself anymore. Where it ends up feeling like, is this the new wave of traditional heavy metal, or is this just some different scene? In ways that could end up particularly happen. It could happen, just not sure when. Because the scene has been around since 2008. Pretty much everyone, it almost seems to be, that's when it happened, when band like Enforcer came along in 2008 on the Heavy Artillery record label, releasing their very first album. Pretty much kick-starting the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal. In ways kind of overtaking the whole retro thrash movement, which has kind of died down. So when will the new wave for traditional heavy metal die down? That's the question of today, at least of this video. Because all movements die down. Like with the whole new wave of British heavy metal. Now, you can all say when was it formed, like when did it start? Either 1977 or 1979. Don't really give a hell, don't give a fuck on whether or not, because of it lasted for quite a while. To me, I'll say 1977 was the actual year that the new wave of British heavy metal really kicked off its whole movement, with 1977 pretty much ending somewhere around 83. However, it did last at least about 3 more years. 3 more years. 86 was the last thing where it really felt relevant. But that was pretty late. So the last time it really felt very relevant was probably in 84. Because we still had some classic stuff, such as Avengers' debut album, Bloodsports, was probably the last hints of relevancy in the new wave of British heavy metal. So that's again the question of this: when will the new wave of traditional heavy metal have its last hurrah? Because 2008 it started, and we're in 2015. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15. That's 8. We're already going to 8 years. So when is the movement gonna, disappear? Before it's, when will it die before all of a sudden it starts becoming a shell of what it used to have been? Because right now, the only thing that I can see as a bit of a hiccup, or I guess something that probably would be seen as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's say like a gunshot. And when the bullet probably hasn't been fired, but the gun is pretty much pointed at the victim. Right now, the only thing I can see as the main perpetrator for this would probably be Skullfist. If anyone hasn't known by now, one of their main leaders, I'm on the Metal Archives right now, and it's on the Skullfist page. Zack Slaughter has left Skullfist, who were, again, probably the next, at least main or bigger names from the new wave or traditional heavy metal, next to Enforcer. That main man left, so, and it seems like, and the band does not have any original members left, and it's also been stated that, now I'm going to also get this out of the way, I'm not a fan of Skullfist. I tried to get in their stuff, but I just can't. Again, it's got to do with Zack Slaughter's vocals, but in a way, it's what made Skullfist sound, was his vocals. But on to what I was going to say. They do have at least an album recorded, and it's going to be released in 2006, and it was with Zack Slaughter when he was still in the band. But he's left. This could mean that Skullfist could end up splitting up. Probably would be considered a blow to the scene, because of ever since Skullfist and Enforcer merging on the scenes, they've been seen as one of the biggest influences to most of these new wave or traditional heavy metal bands. You can see some of these even newer ones that are coming out that have maybe remnant sounds of those bands, especially Skullfist, and even where the influences on their shirts, patches, all that shit. So when they end up finding out that one of their favorite bands has split up, could end up it's a stretch, but it could be seen as one of as a reason for why the scene could end up dying, and maybe soon. It could be soon. Maybe next year would be the last time that the scene will feel relevant, before all of a sudden in 2017, 18, 19, or the next fucking decade, it will feel like just a shell of what it used to have been. That's what honestly, that could end up happening. To me, the whole new wave of traditional heavy metal scene really, to me, is like one of at least the most best scenes since the new wave of British heavy metal. It has it, but instead of being one regional scene, it's all over the world. Get bands from most of the big areas, though, for these new wave or traditional heavy metal bands is either Sweden, Britain, not so much. I don't see a whole lot of bands coming out of Britain now. While I do, just not a whole crop of them. Sweden, Germany seems to have at least a few. America, of course, US, Canada, definitely. That's where Skullfist is from. They're a Canadian band. And that seems to be some of those places where I mostly see a lot of these new wave or traditional heavy metal bands. Italy is also one. But still, at the end of this video, I want to at least see some thoughts on whether you think that the new wave of traditional heavy metal is it on its way out? Do you feel that it's actually not going to die, that it's actually going to last for as long as it can? Which I don't see that happening, because of the only way for this scene to last a lot longer is we see some other bands that add some newer ideas to some of these, like something that bands like Skullfist and Enforcer couldn't possibly do. And I know I'm forgetting another Canadian band, Cauldron, but I haven't really been all that much into them anyway, but I don't know what's going on. I'm also forgetting about another band, White Wizard, out of Los Angeles, California. The only original member left in that band is oh, I forgot his name, but he is the only member left, and that band everyone knows has had a lot of, there's a whole lot of crap, and I think White Wizard is, while not a huge fan of them, not really that much into them, are just a shell of what they used to have been. I did listen to a song off of a recent track from I think like 2014. I don't know, I could not get into it. It was a boring track. To me, I actually, while some of their past was now not being too much a fan on, actually had more going on to it than this song. It just sounds like melody for the sake of melody. Nothing, no heavy balls, nor none of that into it. It just feels like plastic, in my opinion. Just doesn't sound like what it really, and it just doesn't sound as striking. To me, White Wizard are just now just a shell of what they used to have been. And even if you're not a fan of White Wizard, even if you think that the newer stuff might end up getting you into them more, sorry, you're not. You probably will end up thinking, wow, our older stuff is actually even better than this. What the hell? While some on the video that I see in the comment section all saying, this is so fucking great, and everyone, also seeing someone saying that Iron Maiden, is that you? I just heard the newest Iron Maiden song, Speed of Light. Really? You want to compare that White Wizard song to an Iron Maiden song? And to me, the song Iron Maiden's Speed of Light, much better than anything White Wizard has put out. And it should be obviously stated, but it just ends up making as much sense as plastic bottle would. To me, that's pretty much what the sound of White Wizard is now. Sounds like a plastic bottle with no water in it. Yeah, try and wrap your head around that. But that's pretty much the truth. Anyway, that pretty much could end up happening to Skull Fist. It's like, it will be like a pizza, but without the sauce, without the cheese, without just look like a piece of cooked bread that's shaped like a fucking triangle. Nothing on it. That's pretty much what could happen to Skullfist. What is already happening to White Wizard. Again, one of the most known bands out of White Wizard. And also should be noted that White Wizard has always had lineup changes. Just that main man right there has stayed with them for as long as ever, but the sound and everything is just changing and turning into something so, I don't know, just very whimsical. And I've never been a fan of White Wizard, again, saying it again, but it just sounds very whimsical. To me, almost make me want to go back to Over the Top and listen to that again, but I can't even stand as much of White Wizard anymore. To me, I've already moved on to other new wave or traditional heavy metal bands like Ambush. And we will get to a song by them soon, because of that band is going to be releasing a music video sometime, which will end up leading into probably the first video review of an Ambush song, or anything by Ambush in general. I haven't seen any video reviews on that band recently. Always type reviews, but never video reviews. But that will come up soon, when that song gets released. I almost thought about doing a video review on the Speed of Light song by Iron Maiden, but to me, don't want to steal anything away from CKN. Don't want to. Want to at least focus on ones that don't get enough attention here on YouTube. So, that pretty much does it. Still, I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not the new wave for traditional metal is on its way, or it's gonna last for as fucking ever as it can. May the fucking confetti rain. So, that pretty much does it for this video. I am Heavy Thrashhead, and I am out. And I will be back at least see another video on Monday because I mostly record my videos a day before. So that does it. Later.